Viewer discretion is advised.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Train Simulator 2020. My name is YoAdrian, and today we're doing a scenario called Scrap over the Cajon Pass. BNSF is clearing out their back roads and taking locos to the scrap. The latest move has arrived at Victorville, and you must take it on to Barstow, where the machine shops will strip the engines down and scrap the rest. Kind of similar to what most companies right now are doing in real life, and I'll kind of go ahead and more into detail about that in the actual video. Let's go ahead and hop in the scenario here and see what we got going on. Alright, so here we are in game right now. As you guys can see here, we're going to be driving BNSF 9647, nicknamed as a vomit bonnet or a barf bonnet locomotive because of the texture that it has on it. And it is a nice little weathered version, as you guys can see there, with some paint chipping from being like burned off, and then as you guys can see here, some exhaust being like on fire and stuff like that. So it looks kind of cool. Like, I love the weathered look on it. And we're actually going to be taking a lot of different locomotives to scrap. So we have this BNSF GP9 right here, a SD40-2 snoot nose, which is the long nose, a Santa Fe GP9, a Burlington Northern GP9, another Santa Fe GP9, another Burlington Northern GP9, a second one, a third one, or I guess the fourth one I should say, BNSF X Burlington Northern 38-2, a BNSF GP38-2, another Burlington Northern 38-2. Then we have a Milwaukee Road and a Southern engine or GP9s as well, which we kind of needed for the scenario, only because I was supposed to couple on to some stuff and I can't get rid of these without the scenario screwing up. So these are going to be taking the markers here. Basically, I'm not going to be going into much third person views, only because of this, because it's very hard to get back into your lead locomotive. So here we are in the lead locomotive 9647. You guys get a good look at it over here, and I'll kind of go into detail about this locomotive and why it is so unique to BNSF's roster. But let's go ahead and turn on some headlights here. There we go. Let's go ahead and get back into the lead locomotive. Here we go. Alright, let's go ahead and set the throttle to forward. Get the HUD up. Release the brake here. Put on the bell. And here we go, ready to go. And for anybody asking why I don't have any modded sounds in for this locomotive, it's because I just haven't had a chance to throw any in. So we are rocking with the default sounds, unfortunately. But it is the default ST70 MAC or MAC locomotive from RSC, one of the default ones. We've actually ridden in this one before when we did a Metra video, so it's nothing new. It's all standard, all default. Nothing has changed. Looks like we're going to be departing East Victorville on a diversion clear. But here's a look at the nice locomotive. Oh, and of course it's going to do that shit to us again. But yeah, we're basically taking this train up to Barstow to basically get these locomotives into the scrap yards and stuff like that, which, as you guys can see there, the locomotives are following behind us. But yeah, so this is kind of similar to what's going on in the real life world, especially at Norfolk Southern, where they're selling off a whole bunch of different locomotives and stuff like that. But because of the whole new PSR, precision scheduled railroading, longer trains, which means less trains, less motive power needed. So Norfolk Southern's actually selling off a whole bunch of different locomotives, like older locomotives, as well as like selling them for scrap or selling them to like other railroads for like different like short lines, or selling them to different railroads for rebuild. So a lot of their units are including like yard switchers, like the MP15DC or the MP15s, yard slugs. Same thing was we're doing, like GP38-2s and SD40-2s. They also sold off their executive F units, which I'm sure a lot of you guys already by now have known about that. That was a few months ago. I was actually kind of sad about that, because that was one of their trains that actually made Norfolk Southern unique, was the executive train that they have. So I was kind of bummed out about that one, but they do look kind of nice in their new paint scheme for reading in Northern. At least the one A and B set, and another A and B set I haven't actually seen yet since it got sold off. But it kind of looks like a Marlboro Black. If you smoke and you know exactly what Marlboro Black looks like, it kind of looks like the cigarette pack for those, which is the new paint scheme. So kind of weird, but I don't want to actually get out in third person. I want to make sure that all my train is diverged on before I start going any faster. That will be alright. We will be alright. But the SD80 Max, or MACs, which are like the unique to Norfolk Southern as of now, since Norfolk Southern is the only rail company that has them, are being sold to CP or Canadian Pacific for the SD70 ACU program that they're going through. Speaking of Canadian National, I will be showing off the new Searchlight Simulations AC44000 soon. Or 44,000. I will be showing that off, or 4400 I mean. I will be showing that off soon. I ended up breaking down and purchasing it. So I will have a video of it on the channel either this week or next week. But yeah, so even their new 8.5 or dash 8.5 engines are being sold off as well. Majority of their old Conrail dash 8s are in storage. So with PSR being done, BNSF is also going to be clearing out their back roads as well as what we're doing here. As you see there, all those units, especially it said that this was like a second round of them, so they're all going for scrap today. It's like a funeral train basically. So yeah, all of these are going for scrap. None of these are actually being sold off to other railroads. They're all just going to be stripped for parts and sold for scrap. But yeah, this locomotive, BNSF 9647, is actually nicknamed the Vomit Bonnet, or the Barf Bonnet, and that's only because it kind of looks like someone just threw up on the locomotive and called it a paint scheme. That's what it is nicknamed by various rail fans across the entire United States. It has been repainted into their new H3 scheme, which is kind of good, but it's also kind of bad because it was their one of their very unique paint schemes. This was the only locomotive that actually had it. But like I said, it was a one of a kind, and that's only because it was an experimental scheme after the Burlington Northern and Santa Fe merger. So they were kind of looking for a like a new paint scheme to kind of commemorate the two merging together, and it uses the colors of the Burlington Northern cream and green with the Santa Fe war bonnet diagram lines, which you guys can see here. And it looks like we're going to be on a clear, so I ain't worried about it. But yeah, so it's got like the war bonnet it's got the war bonnet lining, but it uses the Burlington Northern colors, and it is the only unit on Burlington Northern's Santa Fe's roster right now, or was the only unit to actually spell out Burlington Northern Santa Fe, as you guys see there on the side. So that's pretty unique. Like I said, it has been repainted in their new paint scheme as of now, so unit's obsolete, but you guys can probably still see it in its new paint scheme and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that is basically the rundown and history of this locomotive. Another thing that kind of want to point out that's kind of been interesting is that since this whole COVID-19 coronavirus thing is going around, truck drivers are having a busy time trying to keep stores stocked and with supply and demand and everything. So there's a lot more trucks on the road, and I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% certain, I haven't read anything about it, but I'm pretty sure on this there is an increase in rail traffic to meet supply and demand of frozen goods, you reefer trains and stuff like that, as well as just a whole bunch of other different trains and stuff. So it looks like we have a UP GP9 over here that's being used. That's probably going to be going away soon here anyway. Looks nice right there. That's pretty nice. Very, very nice. But yeah, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to all the railroaders out there, as well as all the truckers out there that are out over there on the road, trying to keep everything, trying to keep delivering all the goods and stuff that we actually need, like all the essentials and stuff for basic life and all that fun stuff. Give a huge shout out to all the railroaders. A huge thank you as well. Truckers, healthcare professionals, retail workers, first responders, military, anybody out there that's actually working through this. outbreak when everything else is shut down, factory warehouse workers that aren't shut down, and of course my condolences to all you guys out there that actually did end up getting laid off because of this. I know a lot of the jobs that you guys had required you to, living paycheck to paycheck, so you required that paycheck, so hopefully you guys can gain unemployment through all of this stuff, but my heart does go out to you guys if you guys were struggling with money, and this doesn't really help out as much either. So yeah. But yeah, hopefully there is an increase in rail traffic. I'm still not 100% certain what's going on with this whole thing, or as you guys can see there, my dashboard is now perfectly clear, but if you look out the window it's blurry, and then you come up here, look out the window, it's clear, and the computers get blurry. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that, but it looks like we're going to be stopping at Hellendale Siding here in about 9 miles or so. Not quite sure what's going on with that, but we're going to slow down here because we're going to start speeding. But one thing I did see was that CSX actually came out with a new... CSX actually came out with a brand new locomotive. It is an SD40E-3. Basically, it is not the same thing as Norfolk Southern's SD40Es. Those that are used on like helper service on the horseshoe curve and stuff like that. Basically looks the same as CP's SD30C-Echo locomotives. But it is a brand new CSX locomotive. It does not have the SpongeBob Square Cab like the CSX SD43s have, which I think were just like a trial and error run, since that's the only locomotive as of now that actually has those cabs. So I'm not quite certain what's going. I'm not quite certain if those are going to be a permanent thing, like the NS has the Admiral cabs and like the new SD60E cabs, stuff like that they've been trying to demonstrate with locomotives and stuff for everything. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. But yeah, so they have a new locomotive out. CP's getting some new SD70 ACUs, which is kind of they're going to be their first EMD locomotives, since their SD40s and the SD9043 Max that they had, because they've been all GE for the most part. One thing I really do hate about this route is that there is no whistle post signs, so you're kind of just stuck trying to figure out where crossings are for the most part. And here's one right here. But there really aren't too many crossings on this route, so it's not that big of a deal. But another thing that I found out, or actually not found out, but another thing that I found throughout the last couple weeks was that I found a whole bunch of different third-party websites for new like engine reskins and like freight cars and sounds and stuff for Train Simulator 2020. So this is actually one of the locomotives that we're actually driving right now. Was one of the repaints that I actually found. So hopefully you guys will get used to seeing a whole bunch of Train Sim 2020 on the channel, because we're going to be showing off a lot, and I do mean a lot of stuff here soon in the next upcoming weeks and months and stuff. So stay tuned for all of that. Let's see, I think I see another crossing coming up, which I do. Alright, so didn't want to talk over that crossing horn sequence over there, but we do have a clear signal going on over here. Going to be stopping in about a little less than 6.5 miles, so we got to keep that in mind as well. But yeah, as I was saying, get used to seeing Train Sim 2020 on the channel, because we are going to be showing off a whole bunch of different repaints and stuff here soon, new locomotives, different types of trains, and stuff like that. So get used to seeing Train Sim on the channel. I also have plans for the Fort Kent and the other Ohio route, where it's basically like you're switching with the default like UP SD40-2s. So stay tuned for those, because I will be doing a whole bunch of different, showing off a whole bunch of different trains with those, with streams and or regular videos. I haven't decided what I want to do with it yet, so just going to keep that in mind for you guys. Definitely be showing off a bunch of that. And yeah, so basically what we'll be doing with that is just using a whole bunch of 4 or 6 axle power on those in front of the default UP SD42 locos, to show off a bunch of the different repaints and stuff. So yeah, we'll be doing that. Mainly it'll probably be like 4 axle locomotives, because I don't see 6 axle locomotives running on there. So, but yeah, stay tuned for all of that. As well as I found a whole bunch of different other, I don't want to say a whole bunch, but I found a few different repaints for Train Sim World as well, that we'll be showing off here soon as well. going along with all the Caltrain MP15DC as well as the Oakville sub, which I still have to actually get a video in besides the introductions. So those will be going on the channel soon as well. I'm going to try to keep the variety different on the channel because I'm noticing that we're doing a lot of American Truck Simulator recently and not a lot of the other videos. So I'm going to try to keep variety going, especially if you guys are out at home like quarantined or like, you know, laid off from work, you guys are stuck at home. I definitely want to make sure I have some content out for you guys. So if you guys are stuck at home, you know, you're bored, you have something to actually do. So definitely expect maybe 2 videos some of the days a week in the next upcoming weeks and stuff like that. So just bear patient with me because I still actually have to work and everything like that. So my job requires 10-hour shifts, so 6 a.m. to 4:30. And then of course I'll be going to bed around like 8:30, 9 o'clock. So bear with me as I try to do YouTube, try to get videos out for you guys as well, so you guys have something to do at home. And we're going to do this crossing sequence, and I'll get back to you guys once we do it. It's kind of weird there. The dude was actually sitting on the pickup truck with the chick standing next to it, sounding like they're a rail fan, and that's actually kind of cool. I've never actually seen that before. Maybe they're trying to get a look at the train going to scrap. I don't know. I do not know. Yeah, that's something I would honestly do, but we got another crossing coming up over here. Alright, so we're going to stop about 3 1/4 mile at Helendale Siding 2. So we'll be heading out over there, see what's going on. Possibly just going to be waiting on a freight train or something. I don't know. Do not know. But recently I actually joined a Facebook group for this game. And I've actually found a lot of different like locomotive repaints and sounds and stuff like that as well. So going along with the new sites that I found and everything. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, guys, Train Sim 2020 will be making a huge impact on the channel with all these different reskins and stuff, especially since I haven't seen a lot of these actually being shown off in different videos and stuff like that. But we are up here on an approach signal. I'm not sure exactly what milepost we're at or anything like that. So it looks like this is going to be milepole 23. Right, because I think this next one's 23. Yep, so it'll be 23.1 approach. Alright. UP or BNSF 9647. Milepole 23.1 approach. Main one. We got some more UP GP9s over there hauling a little short grain train over here. See what's going on with that. Looks like UP's got the GP9s working. They're using those GP9s today, that's for sure. They're saying that BNSF's getting rid of them, so they're like, haha, we still got them. Looks like his train's looking good. Got no marker on the rear, but that's only because the default cars weren't supported of markers. And here we go. There's Helendale Siding 2. About 0.1 or 1.7 miles and stuff like that, so yeah. Definitely a sad time for railroading era. I wish some of these would actually be going to like short line railroads, but I know they probably get more money going to scrap and stuff like that, so. But yeah, that is that. And yeah, a lot of the Norfolk Southern units are actually being like, you know, sold off to the short line railroads and everything like that. As we come out here to another crossing. Traffic is moving super slow at this road. Alright, so it looks like we got a restricting signal coming into Helendale Siding here, so we're going to go ahead and start slowing down for that. BNSF 9647 restricting Hellendale. Main 2 to siding 2. Over. Start slowing down for that. I think we're going to be... yeah, I do see a train that we probably are waiting on and stuff like that, so... That is what we're doing there. It looks like it's going to be a 15... Looks like it's going to be a 55 heading to the left, which is weird. Not quite sure about that one. But yeah, supposedly it's 55 heading to the left, even though we're on the siding. Which doesn't make any sense. So we are on a restricting signal coming out of here. So for sure, definitely probably waiting on that UP. Looks like a manifest going on over there. Supposedly we're the only BNSF train on the rails today. Because everything else seems to be UP. Unless that's how it is in real life, where UP owns that track and BNSF owns this track. But I can't say that for sure, because I don't actually know. I don't know. We just got to make sure we get the whole train off the main line there. It's coming. I think that Milwaukee Road's on the... Yep, there's the southern one. Okay, whole train has cleared that switch, so we'll just keep going down for a little bit further. I'm going to go ahead and stop right before that switch. Can't really... Yeah, there's no signal, so the signal's down there. So we're going to go ahead and stop right before that switch. Let's go ahead and shut off the headlights here, so we don't blind the other engineer. Alright, so here we are back in the cab of our SD70 MAC locomotive. For some reason, the speedometer now does not work. I don't know why. It just doesn't. Neither does moving the throttle. Not sure. Not quite sure what's going on with that, but something definitely is going on with that. I don't know. It's probably just a glitch with having so many locomotives in one train, I'm assuming. I do not know. Do not know. But we don't currently have a brake on this locomotive. Ah, that would be why, because we're actually running probably this. No, we're not running this one either. I don't know. I don't know. Don't know. I have no clue. Yeah, that doesn't do nothing either, so I don't know. Interesting. Got a crossing coming up over here. Well, that explains a lot, because one of the other locomotives are the lead unit for some reason right now. And I don't understand why. I don't know. Interesting. That's completely different. I don't know what's going on with all of that. But yeah. So it looks like we had a lead engine change, I guess, to one of the locomotives in the middle of the train. Is now powering this train. So we're supposed to be powering this train from that locomotive. So it looks like we're just going to have to chill on this over here. Which is not something I wanted to do, but we're going to have to. So do we even have lights on this locomotive? Yeah, we got lights on. I don't know. Don't know. Looks like there's a DPU of something going on over here. 5344, it's a short train. I do see the engines right over there. So it was a very short train. I don't know. But yeah, amid the coronavirus thing going around, the COVID-19, Amtrak has actually canceled all non-stop Acela service between Washington, D.C. and New York for the Acela Express, basically. I found that pretty interesting since they were all canceled, but I've also seen that there's been a lot of decrease in ridership because of this. So I know Metra is actually running a limited service in Chicago. I believe they're running like the Sunday holiday schedule daily, because of the whole virus and everything. I've also seen that a lot of transit companies are suffering as well because of the whole ordeal. And that's only because a lot of people aren't using public transportation as of right now. Due to the whole coronavirus thing, they're trying to stay away. Trying to stay out of, being out in public and stuff like that. But I've also actually seen pictures of the Las Vegas Strip. And I have never, ever, ever seen that strip empty before. Like it was empty in the pictures I saw. Like there was nobody. No people, nothing. I was like, oh my lord. So we got 10.7 3/4 to there. And then we got Barstow Yard Gate 1. Okay. So not too bad of a trip. Not too bad of a trip as of anymore. Or it wasn't a bad trip after all, but you know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean. So if I move this into neutral, move it to forward. Okay, yeah, it's still not the lead unit. Interesting. So what do I got to do to make it my lead unit? I don't know. I do not know. That's interesting. But yeah, so Metro's running limited service. My heart goes out to all the transit companies that are actually affected by this, because nobody's going to be taking the bus anymore. Nobody's taking the train anymore. Even Greyhound, like your transit companies in your major cities, your like commuter railroads, subways, all that fun stuff. Taxi drivers as well, because no one's going to be doing that, because nobody's really going out anymore. So, but yeah, so if your one way of making a living was like taxi driving, and nobody's using taxis anymore, especially like Uber or Lyft, then my heart goes out to you guys, because that's a horrible thing. A definite horrible thing. Especially if you can't provide for, like, provide for your family and stuff like that. You're not, you're not gaining any money, making any money or nothing. You're just kind of stuck on whatever savings you had, if you had any, or your 401k or whatever, if you have to draw from that and everything. So yeah. But also, speaking of Metra, some good news. The first female Metra engineer has actually retired this year. She was the first female Metra engineer, as well as the first female Burlington Northern engineer. 38 years on the railroad, so that's some exciting news going on over there. Wish her a happy retirement. I believe she actually drove the Metra Rock Island district, is what it said in the article. But yeah, I read that. Apparently it was a few months ago, so hats off to her for retirement. As well as the second Avelia Liberty, the new Acela train set, is out of the shops. I'm not quite sure if that's actually going to be going to Pueblo, Colorado for testing as well, or if it's just going to be staying near the plant. But the second one has been completed. There's no news on any of the charger units that Amtrak purchased for their long distance trains. I believe those are still going to be like in production and stuff like that, so I haven't heard any news about it or anything. As well as, I believe the charger units that the Midwest owns that they're leasing for like the long distance trains are actually doing pretty well from what I've been hearing. But of course, Amtrak made their new charger units specifically meant for long distance hauls, so that the commuter railroads won't have to worry about, not the commuter, but the inner city trains won't have to worry about, borrowing power from Amtrak. Because I have noticed that there has been a few times where P42 DCs have been hitting like a lot of the Midwestern trains as well. Even though technically those are supposed to be overrun by chargers now, I have been seeing a lot of P42s on those trains as well, so I'm not quite sure if they're like underperforming or if they're going through a lot of maintenance issues, or since they're still new, they're still working out the bugs and everything like that. I don't know. I really do not know. That's just something that Amtrak would know and everything. But then, yeah, I've heard a lot of engineers saying that they actually do not like the charger units because of how low to the ground they are. They don't like the acceleration of them, the braking or something like that. I mean, they had a pretty fast acceleration, a lot faster than the P42s, which was nice, but a lot of the engineers and crew members are saying that they don't like them because they have a lot of issues and stuff like that. The radio kind of is annoying if you're a conductor. You have like a very, very, very loud echo in the background as well, which I know about, but that's like a minor issue and everything like that. Safety is the #1 concern, so. But yeah, so that's an issue or an update on those. Like I said, gonna be showing off the Caltrain MP15 DC, MP15 DLC, or DC DLC again, here either this week or next week, as well as gonna dip our feet into the Oakville sub, and then, of course, as I said, more train sim content gonna be coming out with different locomotives and stuff like that. A lot of fictional ones and a lot of real life ones, as well as a whole bunch of like different default ones as well. So stay tuned for all of those. As well as a whole bunch of different like Train Sim World reskins and mods and stuff like that that I found as well. So I found a lot of different things on Searchlight Simulations, like I was mentioning the AC 4400 locomotive that we'll be showing off here next. I found out that they actually had a couple different SD40-2s as well. So I'm going to be trying to see if if I end up liking this AC 4400, I'll probably be doing that as well, purchasing those SD40s as well. Not today, like not soon, but I won't be doing it like within like the next couple weeks, but I'll definitely be doing it soon to kind of showcase those off as well. There's a Union Pacific, Conrail, Norfolk Southern, as well as Burlington Northern, I think. So yeah, we'll definitely be showing those off as well. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys are enjoying this video so far. Do make sure you guys hit the like button if you guys are. Definitely greatly appreciate if you guys would. As well as hit that subscribe button with the bell icon. Definitely would appreciate that as well. If you guys also want to see different train sim content in this game, do make sure that you guys let me know down in the comments, see what like locomotives you guys want to see, what different types of trains we should be hauling. Stuff like that, like more light power moves, like maintenance away stuff. Intermodals, manifest, passengers, I don't know, oil trains, whatever the case may be. Let me know down in the comments below. See what kind of trains you guys want to see running in this game. If you guys have not already, do make sure you guys join the Discord server. I want to try to get it back up and running back in there, popping, you know, active and everything like that in there. So do make sure you guys join the Discord server as well if you guys are interested in chatting with me. Like, here we are on another clear. Got about 4 3/4 of a mile left to get to Lynn. And then after that, it's probably like 4 miles to get to the yard gate, which, yeah, it's about 4 miles after that. So about 9 miles left in total to go. Weird little bridge over here. It's got some like monuments going with it. That's kind of weird. But yeah, also make sure you guys, there's look at the train back there. Kind of cutting away from what I was talking about. Look at that. That looks nice. I'm going to grab a screenshot of that actually. There we go. Oh, we fucked up. And we were hitting a crossing too. Oh well. There we go. We hit a crossing. Oh well. Oh well. But yeah, as I was trying to say beforehand, if you guys also want to join me on or follow this, all the social media links, everything is down in the description below. So like my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat's even down there as well. If you guys do want to hang out, play some online games with me, all my stuff is down there for Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, and I'm going to have to put like my Blizzard and Origin accounts down there as well. So if you guys do want to play like the new Call of Duty Warzone or anything Call of Duty, American Truck Simulator, GTA Online, whatever it may be, I'll have everything down there as well. And if you guys want to, I'm not saying you guys have to do this, but it looks like we're actually going to be on an approach diverging out of here. So our next signal is probably going to diverge us onto that number 2 track or 1 track over there. But yeah, if you guys want to, there is a donate link in the description as well. If you guys want to, I'm not saying y'all have to, but if you guys do want to, that option is available. As well as the Patreon is down in the description below as well. If you guys do want to become one of those, it is a $5 tier as of right now, just the 1 tier. And everything that is there is listed, well, it comes with the tier as well. So I think it's like a custom video, or like Patreon only videos or stuff like that. Or no, it's your video like requests come first. But yeah, it's basically like your video requests will come first. You'll get like exclusive, like first scene videos on there and kind of stuff like that, as well as a custom Patreon supporter rank in the Discord as well. So a couple different things and everything like that. And it's only $5 a month, but I'm not saying you guys have to. If you guys want to, that option is out there and available. But yeah, so we're about 5 miles away from our destination as of right now. Hauling these older locomotives to their deadline fate. Got some engineers in these. I'm not sure what they're doing, but there's engineers in that second unit. And the last one too, for some unknown reason. Not quite sure. Not quite sure. Coming up on another crossing over here, it looks like. No, that's not a crossing. No, that's not a crossing. But yeah, so also stay tuned for new variety on the channel as well coming up. Gonna be having a bunch of different new games and like demos and stuff that I found, and like a whole bunch of different Steam free games and everything like that. So stay tuned for all of those. Those will be coming on the channel here as of now, or as of this week. So I got a couple different new ones to play this week, and you'll be seeing a couple different GTA content showing off some different LSPDFR type stuff. The new update for 0.4.7 is out. Since most of the plugins are now updated for that, I might just update to that as well. Don't know, but it looks like we're going to be heading to track 2 here. So we were on track 1, so we'll be heading to track 2 on a diversion clear. Looks like. So let's go ahead and just start slowing down this train down here. There we go. Nice and slow. Looks like we actually do have one waiting on our track already. Let's go ahead and release those brakes. Alright, so we're getting close to that signal here. Looks like a BNSF. Can't tell. Looks like it might be a UP. No, it might be a BNSF actually. I don't know. Hard telling. Hard telling. Go ahead and just keep slowing her down here. Gonna do a slow reduction. Don't want to go too fast and slowing down, especially with that decline we had going on over there. So, nope, it's a UP. Union Pacific. So yeah, about 0.3 and then about 4 miles left to get to that yard gate over there. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Like I said, if you did, do make sure you guys hit the like button and all that fun stuff. And everything like that. So he's really stopped at that signal. I wonder if he's going to be well, he would have diverged. He would have been diverged already. So it looks like he won't be diverging, but we are diverging. Yes, we are. Alright. So you guys can see the rest of the train back there. Then we just come over here on this side. And then you guys see that UP over here. And then you guys can see the rest of the train diverging back over here. There we go. UP 7780 and 5256 pulling an auto rack train. Alright. Looks like the last engine's finally diverging over. So he'll be making his way westbound, I think. I don't know. Eastbound. I don't know. He'll be making his way the way we were going shortly. That's all I can pretty much say about that. But yeah, so like I said, expect a whole bunch of different like variety and stuff on the content or on the channel coming up soon. Like I don't want to be playing like ATS like 3 videos in 1 week and then you know like GTA the rest of the days. So expect some different variety and stuff like that coming up as well. So that'll be something to look forward to on the channel. And then, especially amid this coronavirus, COVID-19 stuff, like I said, I will be doing a whole bunch of different like videos pertaining to it. If it was like in, you know, the real life, except they'll be in video games with like Train Sim and ATS and all that fun stuff. So stay tuned for all of that. Alright, but yeah, stay tuned for all of that as well, because I got some different GTA 5 videos planned, some ATS, maybe some like 1 or 2 Train Sim videos as well, so stay tuned for all of that. But that'd be pretty cool. And yeah, so we're going to be going through the yard gate here. Doesn't show me exactly where to stop at, so I'm not quite sure. But we are on an approach signal, and it's been quite a while since we've been on the Cajon Pass route. This is actually one of like the first routes in Train Simulator for this game. It's like one of the default routes, so it's not one of like the most like 100% accurately done routes or like the best route that you can get. But for that time, it pretty much was. It was like your only actual route. So it's one of the older routes. So that's why it kind of looks like the way it did. There's actually a modernized route as well that came out. A third-party modder actually developed it and everything. But I can't get that one to work because for some reason it likes to crash on me all the time whenever I try to make scenarios or like use it and stuff like that. So I'm not sure. As well as someone has actually made a 1970s Chicago racetrack route as well. So coming into Barstow here, here's the curve and there's the bridge to get out of Barstow, or if you're coming in, you're coming into Barstow. Having a 60 over here, which I never understood why there's a 60 and it just goes down to a 55. And then we're coming up to a 30 in about a mile. A little bit more than a mile and a quarter. Alright, so here we are starting to slow down for this 30 mile an hour. Going to be another restricting signal here at the yard gate. Let's go and slow her down to about 15 or so, or about 25 will work. There we go, about 20. That'll be fine as well. Just gonna put up the throttle just a tiny bit, just to kind of, you know, give us a little bit more speed. But yeah, as you can see there, the lead engine is the fourth to last engine, and we're actually out in the SC70 Max. So that's kind of funny. That is actually really, really freaking funny. All right, there we go. About 22 will work. On this restricting signal, there's the yard gate number 1. Not sure where they're gonna have us set to. Yard entry instructions. Instruction complete. Oh, okay. So Barstow Out Engine Shop Yard number 16. We got about 15 mile an hour to go through, so we're kind of gonna stop over here. Not sure where I'm actually supposed to be going, so I'm going to stop right here, just in case we actually have to back up a little bit more. Barstow Engine Shop Yard 16. Okay, so we have to go over here. So it's going to be this track. And let's just go ahead and follow this over here. Okay, so we have to back up. Or can we just take this one? Okay, so we just have to back up a little bit because we have to get on the Barstow curve, it looks like. Let's go ahead and do that. Get her back on the main line, I guess. Alright, here we go. Did not realize that that's what we were going to be doing. Alright, so once our Mac clears that switch, we're going to go and stop. There we go. Let's go and set that in forward. Set the brake. Alright, let's go ahead and go around the Barstow curve here. Alright. So let's just go ahead and make sure the tracks are set to where we have to go to first. Let's go and just slow them down here. Back through that. And that goes this way. Alright, doesn't really matter. And that goes this way. Cool. There it goes around the curve right there. Check that out. There goes the whole train around the curve. We're just going to basically just keep going to make sure that everything's good. Let's go ahead and just put the brakes on a little bit because it looks like we are going to be speeding. We don't want to lose control of this train at all. Here it is coming towards us right here. Look at that. That just looks badass. Probably just put on the independent brake for the most part. Check that out. Alright, so let's go ahead and see where 16 is. Make sure this track is set to our direction, which it is. This one is set as well. And then 16 is that first one, so we want to get this to the left. Set properly. That one's set properly. That one is set properly as well. This one is not. That one is. And that one is as well. Alright. So we're currently going towards 16, which we got all switches set to 16. And we're going to go ahead and stop there. Looks like they got the UP. Oh, of course. So it looks like they got the UPE units. Two sets of them actually, because they got the 4FA, the A units, and then you got two B units over there. So they got two sets of them, some SD42s as well for UP. There, I saw some BNSF GP9, so I don't know if those are going to be part of the deadline or not. And then just a whole bunch of other random UP power in the mix. So it looks like UP ended up taking over the Cajon Pass for the most part, of what it seems like. Alright. Alright. Here we go. So we got some 40-2s in here in the shed. Some regular, like, supposedly NS Black Gevos, but they're not NS. There's those two GP9 from BNSF. Not sure if they're going to be part of this deadline or not. Another UP 40-2, and then just BNSF Gevos. Alright. Alright. So we'll just go ahead and get up to the main track over here, stop in front of that switch. Okay, I guess we've completed the scenario successfully, so it's just going to put us into emergency, and we're just going to stop right here. Alright guys, that is going to go ahead and do it for this one. Take care, everyone.